Alright, hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. I just came back from an early screening of the Thunderbolts. Here are my thoughts on it. So right off the bat, I do gotta say, I had a very good theatre experience. Not only did I get this Bucky Barnes keychain, the audience was very good, a lot of clapping, a lot of cheering, and overall, it was a very good time watching this film. I'm gonna be honest, going into this film, I had my expectations very low. I wasn't very excited for the Thunderbolts. It's basically just Marvel Suicide Squad with characters no one cares about. But honestly, this was very good, very well made, good cinematography, a lot of practical effects, and the characters were just great. A lot of good writing, a lot of good chemistry between everyone. David Harbour was obviously very good as Red Guardian again. I didn't really like his suit though. They really shouldn't have redesigned it. They should have just kept the one from Black Widow, but who cares? Ghost comes back. She hasn't been in the MCU since like 2018, so it's good to see her again. Florence Pugh obviously comes back as Yelena. Everyone loves her. There's Bob, John Walker, who was actually my favorite character out of the entire film. I just love how he was a loser and like everyone just kind of bullied him. And then we have Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier. So it's a pretty shit lineup, I'm not gonna lie. I'll get into spoilers because I can't really talk about this film without spoiling it. So click away now. Taskmaster obviously fucking dies. We all knew it. She was barely in the trailers, and yeah, it was a very brutal way to kill her. I mean, the actress even came back. There was a scene where like her mask gets like nanoteched off, and we see her face again, and then she just gets shot in the head by a ghost. It was very barbaric and brutal. I was just kind of expecting it. I was kind of just expecting her to die in an explosion, but yeah, it was pretty dark. I get that she was a pretty shit character in Black Widow, but I feel like she should have gotten a second chance. But anyway, someone had to die, and as I said, this is basically the Marvel Suicide Squad, so it would have been kind of lame if no one died. So I guess it just had to be her. I really enjoyed the story of this film. It's got like, a really heartfelt message about anxiety and like depression, stuff like that. People can relate with or whatever. It was very easy to follow too. It wasn't like overly complicated within the MCU timeline. Like you don't need to like do your MCU homework and watch all these shows and movies. It's pretty easy to follow. I mean, I saw this movie with my sister and she doesn't even know what the Avengers is, and even she had a good time watching it. So I think for the people who are like really diehard MCU fans and you're like really like the timeline and you've watched all the other movies, you're gonna love this film. The movie starts off with Yelena speaking. It's basically a narration by her, and she jumps off that massive building, which is like a world record stunt. It was very cool to see on the big screen. Basically, Val from like all the other Marvel projects is the government is like finding out what she's doing or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention in the courtroom scene. Something bad's happening with her, and she has to get rid of all her loose ends. Basically, these guys, the mercenaries, she's hired to do jobs, and they're meant to get killed in the incinerator, but they all escape. They all team up, and they become family. And they all had very good chemistry. Besides, obviously, Taskmaster. She didn't get to meet everyone, but when the whole crew's together, it's a very good time. Obviously, this guy right here, Bob, is the main villain of the movie. I'm pretty sure everyone could put that together just by watching the trailers. He's Sentry. I don't really know who that is. He's from the comics, and he's kind of just Superman or Homelander for Marvel. And I really liked his suit. His suit was very comic accurate, looked very goofy, and he's basically just a corporate superhero made by Val. And he turns evil, obviously, and they all have to team up to fight him. But the final battle isn't really what you expect it to be. I mean, sure, at the start, when they were first trying to fight him, it's basically just a bunch of super soldiers going up against Superman, trying to defeat him. Obviously, that doesn't go well. And then, like, he kind of just turns evil. He turns into the Void. Apparently, that's a very cool comic book character. I don't really know. It's basically just all black with two, like, specks for white eyes. It's basically Bob's depression. And, yeah, the whole city, New York, it gets fucking turned into darkness again. Jesus Christ, why would you want to live in New York in the Marvel Universe? Shit always happens there. But anyway, Yelena goes into the Void. They all go in. They all work together. And it reminded me a lot of Inside Out 2. I mean, the message of the film is, like, to fulfill yourself. Don't let the past define you or whatever. And I think a lot of incels can relate to this movie. A lot of people who like Marvel, I guess. It's a very good message. So I think a lot of like critics are going to be like, oh, this is such cinema. Amazing Marvel movie. I'm already hearing people say this is in like their top 3 Marvel movies, which I just don't agree with. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm definitely saying it's better than Captain America. It's the best Marvel movie since like fucking Deadpool, which isn't saying a lot. But yeah, it was good, and they all just start hugging Bob. It reminded me a lot of the anxiety attack scene in Inside Out. Then they're about to arrest Val, and then they get revealed as the New Avengers. That's what the asterisk mean. If you wanted to know what this meant at the end of the title, it's the New Avengers. It's not the Dark Avengers. It's not the Secret Avengers. It's just the New Avengers, which I gotta say, what a fucking shitty lineup. What the hell is this? If they're meant to be the New Avengers, this is kind of shit. But obviously, it's not going to be like that. We know for Doomsday, it's not going to be the full cast. There's going to be X-Men, Fantastic Four. Speaking of Fantastic Four, make sure you stick around for the second post-credit scene. The first one is very shit. It's basically just the same gag of him wanting to be on the cereal box. But they are like in the Avengers Tower, they're searching through the satellite and they see a ship. And you wonder, is that Doctor Doom? And the ship kind of turns around and when you see the Fantastic Four logo teasing that the Fantastic Four are coming to the MCU. And it's also teasing, Fantastic Four, the movie. I did like how this movie referenced the previous events for Captain America 4, and it showed like the Washington Monument destroyed after the Red Hulk, obviously tore into it, and they do reference Red Hulk in the beginning of the film as well. So I thought that was really cool. It's like Captain America, Thunderbolts, then Fantastic Four. It's like a very, it's very easy to follow. The timeline is back in sync again, because like there was a really weird period of time, like 2022 to 2019. All the movies were just out of order, but I'm glad that the MC is finally back. The timeline is intact again, and you can just watch the movies in release order instead of having to like Google which order do I watch these movies in. It's like, no, we're back to the basics now. This is a very basic Marvel movie. The final battle, as I said, in New York, gave me like the early 2000s, 2010s vibe for like a Marvel movie. It just feels back to basic, and it gives a bright future for what's to come in Avengers Doomsday. That's just my thoughts on the Thunderbolt. Sorry if this review was kind of shit. I'd give this movie like a 7.5 out of 10. Very generic rating, I know. I wouldn't give it an 8. I'm saying it's a good movie, but it's not an 8. Anyway, thanks for watching if you've made it this far. I'll see you guys for Fantastic Four when it comes out in June, July? I don't know. Bye.